Welcome back to the Deep Digger Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew, my other host right over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Drop some comments below. Let us know your thoughts.
We are talking this Monday night game that just happened between the Vikings and the Bears. JJ McCarthy ended up with 3 touchdowns and the win. The Bears struggled to find offense for a good portion of the game. Did you want to talk JJ first? Did you want to talk Caleb first? Because those are kind of the two big personalities that we're going to be talking about here, that everyone's talking about.
I think on this show we always go winners first. So let's talk JJ.
JJ, I was so ready to come onto this pod and just take a victory lap for all of the stuff we've been saying about JJ McCarthy not being the answer at quarterback for the Vikings. And I will say the first half I felt good about my take. The second half I had to rethink things. I mean, he did grow up a lot in that game. It felt like a rookie learning on the fly, and he went through a lot of different situational things in this game. I actually like how he played at the end of the day, and he got a win. And he looked like he caught up to the speed of the NFL by the end of the game, which is crazy because Caleb looked like he was in a similar situation where he just wasn't ready for the speed of NFL game, but Caleb's played a season.
Yeah, I think the speed of the game is something that is very hard for people to understand. And I mean, I know that JJ McCarthy, he's seen snaps in preseason games both last year and this year. He's been in practices with against his team, but again, going at it live is just a completely different animal. And I felt like the first half was shell shock. It was Saving Private Ryan when they're storming the beach and everything's going on and it's just like, oh, what has happened? That was JJ McCarthy in a nutshell, that entire first half. Once things got settled, once he figured out, okay, like I actually know what the speed is now. I can make decisions. I can make these reads. He started to get a little bit more comfortable. I'm not going to sit here and act like he lit the world on fire, but you've got to feel good if you are a Vikings fan, knowing that, okay, when it mattered most, JJ was there to deliver. And JJ did it with his arm, he did it with his legs, and you seen the team rally around him. When he scored that touchdown with his legs, they all went up to him. Kevin O'Connell like left the sidelines to go over there and then stopped himself. That's got to be such a good feeling for not just this team, but for the fan base as well. You've got to be like, okay, you know what? Maybe we have something here. So I think you've, I mean, for a good chunk of like this game, again, the offense did not look good, but you've got to feel good that you ended it on an up note and you got the win.
Yeah, and I think there's still going to be criticism for JJ McCarthy going forward. I think he still is going to have to show it against different teams. At the end of the day, you look at this was a bad Bears team that they're still trying to figure their identity out under this new coaching regime. They had their top two corners out. The touchdown that they threw to Aaron Jones, they had a backup linebacker on him. So there's a little bit that you can, lean towards. Okay, the Bears were down some players, but overall, I give this a C plus game to JJ. They got the win in a gritty, defensive battle, or less than defensive battle than an offensive struggle game for both sides. Um, let's talk about Caleb Williams because this was kind of a disaster for the Bears. They came out, had a great first drive, got a touchdown, but then after that, not till the garbage time of this game, this offense struggled, and I just seen time and time again Caleb throwing to the screen, throwing to a flat, dirting the ball to the outside. Is this more on Ben Johnson or is this more on Caleb?
I think that has to be on Caleb. I mean, there was multiple times in this game where it just felt like Caleb, when he started to freestyle and he started to run around and do his thing, like he has some, I don't want to say bad instincts or like, but he has tendencies that lead toward like, why would you do this? Like there was multiple times where he's rolling out to either the right or the left, and there's multiple defenders in front of him, and he looks to the opposite side of the field and tries to gun it. And it's like, or he looks like he is going to do it. And it's like, that's the one of the cardinal rules in the NFL is do not throw it across the field. And he looks to do that, and behind the line too. Like it's not like this was meant to be a screen. He's just doing it just to do it. So like, there's things that do concern you. The first drive, I mean, these are him and JJ McCarthy had completely different trajectories. The first drive looked amazing. It felt like okay, like I was like okay, all the reports of Camp and Caleb Williams not meshing well with Ben Johnson's offense, those were all like lies, right? Like I'm looking and I'm seeing with my eyes right now. He looks good. He looks good in this offense. He's getting in this. He's feeling comfortable. He's going down the field. He went, I think it was like 7 for 8. Like he was gone a pretty good clip. And then from there, it was just kind of all downhill until the end of the game when he ended up, getting it down the field. But yeah, like, you've got to be concerned about this. And I know I put out follow us on TikTok, but I put out a TikTok like just right after the game, and Chicago fans are pissed. And you could already hear it in this game. This is the home opener. This is week 1, and you're hearing groans from the crowd at Soldier Field who are supposed to be Bears fans, but it's like, oh, same old Bears. All right, we're another third down that we just don't get. At the end of the game, they got booed. This is insane. I don't know who Bears fans are, going to be more pissed at. Is it going to be Caleb Williams or is it going to be Ben Johnson? But someone is going to get the wrath of the Chicago fan base.
Well, I'll say it's not surprising the game that Caleb had. I think Ben Johnson coming in, I thought there was going to be a different style of offense than we seen last year from Caleb, but it felt honestly pretty similar. Like they didn't have a great run game. All the passes that Caleb were throwing for the majority of Caleb's passes were screens to the flat. And a lot of Caleb Williams was drifting in the back of the pocket, rolling out, trying to extend plays. And I thought he should have stepped up into the pocket more time. I mean, we're seeing why Shador isn't starting. Is he drifts out of the pocket, and it's good because you extend plays sometimes, but sometimes you need to step into the pocket and make a throw. And we saw JJ do that multiple times today. This game, once they got the pick 6, was basically Vikings had done absolutely nothing on offense. Bears had him in a chokehold. All Caleb had to do was drive down the field and hit a couple field goals, and they just couldn't do it.
I mean, that's one thing that you can say about Caleb Williams is he didn't make that, back-breaking,
Because all he
mistake.
did was throw to the running back. All he's doing is throwing a check down. He's just throwing to the flat. I want to see his throw chart, because how many times are we going to watch him fade out of the pocket and throw to the flats? That's not why we got a number 1 quarterback. He looked like a bottom 5 quarterback to me.
His his pass chart looks like Jalen Hurts. Oh no. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. I think one thing that we take for granted is the commentating group. They were on it tonight, and one thing that I really stuck out to me was Troy on the first drive. He actually kind of called something out that is very similar to, I don't know if you caught that too, where Roma Dunze ran a post route and it was wide open, but instead Caleb took the check down and he was like, I don't know if he just wasn't looking for it or
He
maybe.
and Caleb missed a touchdown later in the game because he was looking at the check down, and DJ Moore came free down the sideline.
Yeah.
Absolutely no one within 15 yards of him. He threw it to him late because he's looking in a situation. I think this was like the end of the game where you're trying to score as fast as possible. Why is your first read the 2-yard out when there's a guy running down the sideline? It's just, I get it that he didn't make a mistake, blah blah blah, but at the same time you need to be aggressive. You need to be aggressive in certain situations, and JJ McCarthy didn't shy away from that, where Caleb definitely, it seemed so that he was like, well, I'm just gonna take the safe play every single time instead of putting myself in jeopardy.
Yeah, and again, the Bears did like it felt like they dominated this game for like 3-ish quarters. You know what I mean? It felt pretty good. I think at one time, Aikman was even like, "Hey, I know this feels like a 5, they have a 5 possession game, but this field goal that they ended up missing would still make it a 2 possession game. And it's like, oh, they kind of played with their food a little bit. And good teams put teams away. They should have put away this Vikings team. Instead, you let them, hang around and have hope. And hope is the most dangerous thing that you could have on an NFL field. And the Vikings took advantage of it, of just being around. You stick around long enough and you kind of figure things out. And that's what JJ McCarthy and this Vikings offense did.
And the strength of this Bears team is supposed to be offense. They have they gave Caleb Williams all the weapons he needs. He has a tight end, he has multiple receivers. They even drafted another receiver this year that they didn't need. And they have a guy in Swift who is a guy that Ben Johnson likes. And so there's really not an excuse. I didn't think that there was too much crazy pressure from the defensive line in this game. I think there wasn't a lot of blitz. There was a couple blitzes at the end of the game, but there wasn't a lot of blitz calls.
There was even, I feel like on the Manning cast, they were talking about one of the blitzes from uh, uh, Dennis Allen is now the Bears head coach, and they're like, "Damn, that
Bears
fooled."
defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah, their defensive coordinator, and Eli was like, "Dang, that fooled me." Like, so I know it had to have fooled JJ McCarthy. So, like, it, and I didn't see and we know that Brian Flores is a good defensive coordinator. He does have things. I'm sure if we went back, this is immediately after the game. If we go back and we'll grind the tape, realistically, there are going to be things that really jump out to you. And they have on all three levels, the Vikings have playmakers. The defensive line is revamped. The linebacking core is fast. They're furious. They hit, they get after it. And that secondary is not, to be poo-pooed away. So I understand that we're chalking it up as, oh, he should have done it. But a year two guy that was, supposed to be a generational, quote unquote, quarterback should have taken over this game.
It's just, to me, it's how many balls were just uncatchable for the receivers. How many balls did he just throw in the dirt? And then how many times did he not just throw it downfield and he just took the check down when he should have tried to push it? Honestly, I know this is the first game of the season. We're going to see more of Caleb Williams. I think Tyson Bagent, their backup, would have won this game. I think I think they're going to turn to him at some point this season. Last year, players wanted Tyson Bagent to be the starter over Caleb Williams. We've seen reports that players wanted Bagent over Caleb Williams, and I think Ben Johnson at a certain point is going to say, you know what, Caleb isn't my guy. I'm going to bench him. Bagent gets the ball out fast. He knows how to read a defense. I could totally see that happening this season.
Honestly, it would have to take a lot. I think you're gonna have to go no matter what the full season with Caleb Williams, unless something drastic happens. You've got to play it out. This is a guy who drafted number one. This is a guy that this is the reason you got this job, Ben.
Ben
You,
Johnson did draft him number one, though.
but that this is the reason we gave you this job. You're supposed to be an offensive guru. You're supposed to make this guy look good. He has all the, quote unquote all the talent in the world. You make it happen. That's what you get. That's what you earn this paycheck for.
Hey, but at the end of the day, if a guy isn't an NFL quarterback, he's just not going to be an NFL quarterback. Like, what do you want Ben Johnson to do? They already put Caleb on a terrible track last year where he doesn't know how to watch film. He's not developing as a passer, and he's not learning how to read defenses. And he didn't develop at all last year. He basically came into Ben Johnson as a rookie mindset. Like, Ben Johnson has having to teach him everything, and so far it looks like he's not able to pick it up.
I don't know, man. I just think it's not as simple as, okay, we're gonna roll with the guy who fits my offense, especially when the whole reason we brought you in is to make this guy look better. So I understand what you're saying, but also that's just not the way the world works.
How many games where he looks like this do you think he has in him?
Again, I don't know, because you've allocated so much resources to Caleb Williams. This is 1-1. This is a guy that was
Uh,
highly
all
drafted.
all I'm saying is watch the game back. You can see Ben Johnson frustrated. I think he's already mentally like, okay, I don't think this is my guy, but I'm just trying to, make chicken salad out of chicken shit here. I think he's out on Caleb.
All right. Well, yeah. Again, they take the loss. Vikings get the win. Honestly, good win for the Vikings. I mean, you've got to feel good. This is an in division opponent. Obviously, it wasn't your A game, but you get confidence. You take that. You roll with it. It's another notch in your belt. It's Kevin O'Connell figuring out, okay, what works best with JJ McCarthy. Bears, you go back to the drawing board.
Yep.